From the Mastercard Foundation, in partnership with African Lion Advisory, we have Hilda and Peter in studio. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Thank you. Peter, naona umekuja umevaa kabisa.
Yeah.
Complete with your helmet.
This is my armor.
This is your armor.
Yeah.
It's important that it is here and you can see it. Hilda, kindly introduce yourself. Let us know why we are having this conversation today and even the foundation that you are representing.
Okay, thanks so much, Mwakali, for having us this morning.
Karibu.
So my name is Hilda Wangare from ALA Training. We started a program with the Mastercard Foundation.
Yes.
That targeted to train bodaboda operators across Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda, giving them some training on COVID, as well as some protocols that they can observe. And yes, I am here with Peter.
Okay, Peter.
Yes.
Tafadhali, introduce yourself.
I'm Peter Wanjie.
Yes.
A bodaboda rider, and let me say an operator. I operate along Thika Road. My station is at Tuco-Kenya. Yeah.
Okay. How did you come about this training? How did you know about it?
They approached us, let me say that way. They came to our ground.
Apo umesema Ruiru, where your base is.
Yeah, Ruiru
Okay.
Kimbo.
Uh-huh.
So they came there. They gave us the training about the COVID-19, the awareness, and now here am I as a beneficiary.
Great.
Yeah.
So why the bodaboda?
So we realized that during, when the pandemic struck last year,
Yes.
most of us were working from home,
That is
but
true.
then we were relying a lot on deliveries. So they were coming into contact with quite a number of people. So if we roughly estimate they get into 3 new contacts every day. So realize that can be a high number, considering the pandemic is a contact, it's spread via contact.
Yes.
So we came up with, in partnership with Mastercard Foundation, we came up with a USSD curriculum that basically trained them via their phones.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we created a curriculum following the WHO protocols. Then we piloted it just so that you can see if it communicates. Then we used it on USSD because with USSD it gets feature phones and as well as smartphones. So we are able to reach each and every rider that we get into contact with.
Oh, wow. So when they came to Ruiru, where you were based, and they came with this conversation around you being able to protect yourself and protect also your riders, how was that for you? Was it something that was welcomed by everybody else who was there? Ama ilikuanga tu, we'll just try and see where this goes?
Let me say, in everything that you do,
Yes.
not everybody who takes it up immediately. But I'm grateful because for the many of us who undertook the training,
Yes.
at least you are still able to reach the rest who weren't there with us.
And
And
so you
also
sort of
because
become ambassadors
Exactly.
of this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because even if you look, I'm branded both on my front and on my
Acha
back.
tuone nyuma basi.
Because if I turn around, so if you can read my
Va mask inavyofaa. Mastercard Foundation, hashtag it's up to us.
yeah.
Okay.
So you see, even when I'm having my passenger on board, at least he or she can read from my back.
Yes.
I'm still spreading the awareness.
Yes.
For those of us who weren't with us on that day of the training, at least we still have, we were endorsed with the training, the awareness in us.
Okay.
So we are still spreading the awareness to the rest of us who we work with, our families, and the community around us.
Yes.
Yes,
Even your
because-
clients.
Yeah.
And when was this that this started? Was it last year, this year?
So we've done 2 phases. So
Okay.
phase 1 was in last year, and then we've just completed phase 2 just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yes.
So because my next question would have been, how has the uptake been in this? But then clearly it's been really great.
Yes, it has, both from the operators themselves and even from the different associations that we've worked with in the various countries. Because the pandemic, clearly, it's still here, it's still
is.
mutating.
It is.
So it's really important for everyone to take precaution. And the thing with this, with bodaboda operators, if we just work with that number of working with 3 new contacts every day, and NTSA estimates that roughly at any one point there are around 600,000 bodabodas on the road, on Kenyan roads. So if you multiply that, it can have, we are able to train them, we are able to reach quite a number of people.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you be having maybe a number of how many people have been impacted, maybe directly or indirectly, or how many bodaboda riders, operators have been able to partake into the curriculum or the
So-
program?
Yes, so directly we've impacted over 26,000 bodaboda operators, that is directly. So if we roughly work with them having 10 passengers a day, that's
Yes.
over 250,000 indirectly now for the passengers.
That is huge.
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about the hashtag, It's Up to Us. What does it mean to you, Peter?
The hashtag itself explains itself, let me say it that way. Because it's up to me to protect myself, my family, and the community. It's up to me to know what I should do to protect myself against getting into contact with the virus. Remember, as a rider, normally I do interact with the liquid cash, if I may call it like so.
Yes.
And remember, COVID or the virus gets attached to anything that you touch. So immediately my hand lands on, let me call it cash,
Yes.
and maybe whoever handed it over to me had the virus.
Yes.
I have to know what to do next. So immediately I get the cash, I have to get back to my pocket, get the sanitizer, and I sanitize myself.
Okay.
I also have to sanitize my helmet. Okay, for this one I don't share it with anyone. This is mine.
Okay.
There is the one that we give our customers. You have to sanitize it still.
Okay.
So it's up to me to protect myself. It's up to me to protect my customers. It's also up to me to protect the family at home.
yes.
Because tomorrow I have to wake up, get back to the same job. The other day I have to wake up, get the same routine. Because I have to lay a bread on my table every day. I have to bills to pay. So what do I have to do? I have to keep myself safe. So it's up to me, it's up to the other bodaboda guy, it's up to the other organization. So at large we can say it's up to us
To be able to
to
do
be
this.
able to do this. And we can
it was a
overcome
very
it.
confusing state of affairs when now the world sort of like opened up and we can move, and then we're on a boda and he's giving you the helmet and you're not sure. But then when I see Peter with his reflector, imeandikwa mask up, I'm already feeling a bit safer because he's really, really aware of what he's doing, and you can tell by that he's aware of ways to protect you and protect the other person. So we've talked about phase 1, phase 2 that has recently ended. What was the difference, or what was covered in phase 1 and what was entailed in phase 2?
So in phase 1, the emphasis was more on creating awareness of what exactly is COVID-19, because information was still emerging.
Yes.
So, and also how you can protect yourself. And then now with phase 2, we realized after guys had stayed home for so long, there was some laxity
Yes.
between, even with ourselves. So others started saying the virus is not there.
That is not it.
Yeah.
That is how I knew. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I think we're back.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and also the numbers started rising.
Rising again.
Yeah. So with phase 2, it was more of a reminder that this virus is still here.
Okay.
You still need to take precaution, and this is what you need to do when it comes to taking precaution. Like even just what Peter has mentioned, part of the training included that reminding them not to share their helmets, to sanitize themselves, and even at the end of the training, we were able to at least equip them with some creation awareness merchandise so that they can continue with this. So we were able to give them sanitizers, masks, and now, of course, the branded reflector jackets that bear key messaging, at least on COVID, so that even as they move around, like you mentioned, they are passengers, and even when you see them on the road, you'll be able to just remember, mask up,
Yes.
sanitize, maintain physical distance, just, the usual COVID protocols.
Great. Did you go through both of the programs, Peter?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
How was it going through it the first time and then the second time? Did you feel more empowered? Had you laxed a bit before they came back with Tuco-Kenya phase 2 that you need to be a part of as well?
Before they came to the ground,
Yes.
we had that thing that COVID is here, so some business were closed down. We remember. So for us, we were still on the road. Let me say that.
Yes.
And the numbers were rising every day.
Yes.
We knew nothing to do. We had no one to tell us this is what you can do. But immediately they came, at least we are now relaxed in that we all made aware what COVID is, what do we have to do. Like, let me talk of phase 2.
Yes.
Phase 2 came along when also the vaccination started taking place. And most of us, maybe we guessed that once you are vaccinated, you are good to go. But through the training, we were reminded, or we were made aware that
Yes.
even if after vaccination, you still have to go on with the precautions. You have to keep on wearing your mask. You have to keep on sanitizing. You have to sanitize the seat of your bike. You still don't have to share your helmet because you're vaccinated. That was phase 2, because there was a number of questions that we were taken through. That what is COVID, the prevention measures, what can you do once you get infected, once you get sanitized, that is vaccinated. That's not the end of it all. You
Yes.
still have to mind about you and the customer that you're having. So I'm a bit more relaxed when I'm working, because I now know vaccination is not the end of taking my precautions. I still have to take on these things until that one moment or a time that we'll have a cure or a stable vaccination.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just with the Boda guys. We'd see people who just got the first jab and they were just like, maybe I'm good to go. So having that sensitization starting from them was I think it was a very great or beautiful start to have that knowledge, because they are still operating with the same number of people before. Now with that information, they're able to even pass it on to the people that are around them.
Yes, exactly. And also the information, they're able to pass it on to the other bodaboda operators, probably some were not present while we were there, so they're able to share that information. It goes back to their families, it goes back to their mama mbogas and the other people they interact with daily, and also just to their communities. So when we make small impacts, now it translates into something huge.
Great.
Yeah.
And something else that we've seen over the years with Boda riders is having maybe 3 passengers or 2 or more than just one. Was that something that had to be reduced as well? Or is it okay if at kama meva 2 mask na mimi meva mask, kila mtu ako tu sawa, we can still continue business as usual? Did that have to change?
Yes. Also, we encourage them as part of also one of the COVID protocols is to maintain physical distance.
Yes.
So part of the training was also now to remind them not to carry more than 1 passenger, so that at least they can be able to maintain some distance between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phase 1, phase 2 just done. What is the projection? What is the next thing that will happen? Or do we wait to just see what the world is looking like and then move on to that? Or do you have projects that are already, in line?
So we still have projects that are in the works, in the same line. We are hoping, because as we know, the virus is still here. Bodaboda operators are still
Here with us.
They are still here with us.
Yes.
And we use bodabodas for so many reasons. We use them as a source of transport, especially with this Nairobi traffic, for deliveries, for other businesses. Small businesses rely on them. And also, even our deliveries from, let's say, grocery shops and e-commerce platforms.
Yes.
So
They came to save our lives.
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
They did.
So we are hoping to still continue with this training so that we can cover more operators, because working with that statistic that at any one point there are 600,000 bodabodas on the road, and so far we've only been able to directly reach just 26,000.
Yes.
So you see, there's a great
more.
Yes, there's a great need for that.
Yeah.
And also probably even just diversify, because it's not just bodaboda operators who get into contact with many people. So probably diversifying in the transport sector.
Is that something, because that would be my next question, that are we moving away from that or still maintaining that and now sensitizing, maybe going to mama mboga or people that we relate with directly in our communities?
Yes, for future projects, we're hoping to at least to expand the reach.
Okay.
Yes, to beyond bodaboda operators.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Peter, wakileta phase 3 of the curriculum, bado unaingia hapo ku learn some more.
Yeah, I'm really waiting for the same, because as she said earlier, COVID is still mutating.
Yes,
from
that is
this
true.
to that. So we don't know what's coming up next.
Yes.
So the only thing that we have to do is to be aware and to be set to handle whatever comes next.
Okay.
Because the next mutation, we don't know what it turns into. So for the phase 3, I can say it can be really helpful to the bodaboda guys. Remember, these are the people that most of the citizens rely on to take you to your doorstep. Because once the traffic or the vehicle drops you at the road, the next step you have to take is to take a boda to take you to home. So you don't know what next will come, and so I believe I can bet on it that phase 3 will be more helpful to the boda guys and the community at large.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. We have a couple of questions here. So how are the boda riders adjusting to the new realities that their profits might be less because of COVID-19?
The way we adjust to it.
Yes, to the new reality that now awezi beba watu wawili. Kama ulikuna beba 100 bob to a certain destination, if there are 2 people, that's 200 bob. Now it's reduced to just the 100 bob, because you are also, you know, in line with the regulations that have been set out to protect you and protecting your passenger.
Let me answer that question in a general way.
Please.
Like, let me say, if like today, I lose my boda.
Yes.
That's not the end of my life.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, from that moment I got my training,
Yes.
I had to reduce the people I do carry on my boda.
Yes.
For one, to avoid contact. You know, sometimes the passenger holds on you. That's something we had to avoid so much, because you don't have to get into direct contact with your passenger.
So if you carry a scared one like me, but I understand it is, you have to let them know it's part of the job.
So after it all, you have to manage what you get.
Yes.
Because you can't live beyond the standards or beyond what you're getting for the day.
Okay.
With that, you'll be giving yourself depressions and a lot of stress. So for now, you have to adjust it to what you're getting.
Peter, I love your answers. They're so genuine, because it's the same conversation we were having earlier, how COVID has sort of like taught us to live within our means. That ukiwa na kidogo, you're still able to make things
Manage
work.
it.
I think we have one final question before we call it a wrap. What does it mean? What does it mean for their livelihood? Do you feel, or just to try and elaborate this, did you ever feel that maybe these are the regulations, maybe they're tough now, do I need to change my career, or do I need to change my job to do something else that probably is less risky? Mix. Hey, wow. Work with me, be nice.
So once your ground gets tough,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that you quit.
Yes.
Because getting successful in life, you have to go through some stairs that are, some are tough, some are slippery, some have so many things that you come
So
across.
you need to keep on
So
keeping on.
it doesn't mean that we have to quit boda because a pandemic is here, our income has gone down.
Yes.
So the only thing we had to do is still, because wherever you could run into other businesses and employments,
Yes.
they were already closed or shut down. So we only had one option,
Yes.
training to what you have.
Absolutely. Okay.
So even if it scared us,
Yes.
we still had to keep it in our minds. This is our way of living. We have to accept it, because it doesn't mean that it's only our sector that was affected. It's the whole world at large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hilda, your parting shot, and how we can be a part of this amazing work that you're doing.
So like the hashtag says, it's up to us. So let's all individually take the necessary precautions to prevent ourselves from contacting the virus, and also just to reduce the numbers. Let's all play our individual roles.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hilda and Peter. This was
Yes.
a brilliant conversation to have. So once in a while we drop them in our mother tongue. We can't help ourselves, but we move on regardless. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for choosing us every single morning. We do not take it for granted. I hope you learned a lot from the conversations that we've had in today. Always, we love your feedback. So keep sending it to us on Switch TV KU on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We do this all over again with you tomorrow. Have a good day. Adios.